Welcome back to Everyday Magic. I'm Chris and I've got Jen right here with me. We started this visit to Disneyland with a ride on the omnibus. Jen had never been on, so of course that meant riding on top. I love the view that you get of Main Street, if only because you get to see things that you've looked at many times in your life from a different perspective. And just maybe you'll find something new to appreciate there. The Halloween season is one of the best to ride around the omnibus because of the decor. The jack-o'-lanterns are so festive for fall, and each one is unique. You also get a perfect view of the windows of Main Street, which are all dedicated to people who have made Disneyland what it is today. The ride down Main Street isn't always faster than walking, but that's not the point. Riding any of the vehicles, the omnibus, the fire engine, the jitney, and the horse-drawn streetcar, is about experiencing something familiar in a different way than you're used to. I should also mention that the drivers themselves add to the experience, usually sharing little details or history about the park that make the experience just a little bit more magical. If you ask me, that's everyday magic. Now let's go try some more of the new seasonal foods in the park for Halloween. Alright, this is one of the dishes I am most excited to try this Halloween season. This is the blueberry corn dog. It is a corn dog with blueberry compote and powdered sugar on it. Sweet and savory is like my jam. Let's do this. It's very hot. It's just like I imagined it would be.
Sweet and savory?
Sweet and savory. Like, with blueberry, it's a little bit tart also, which I think is really nice. By nature, these corn dogs have a sort of funnel cakey quality, where it is great savory, but also lends itself really well to being sweet. And that's just wonderful. Yeah, it balances. It could totally be a funnel cake dessert, but you throw in that corn dog, that bit of saltiness, like it's a pretty, not a bit, that's a lot of saltiness. It's really good, tastes really great. Like, I don't miss having mustard and ketchup, which I guess also has like sort of sweetness and sourness. You get some of those things here, but more sweetness, obviously. I love it. I knew I was going to love it, and this is great.
Because I'm curious. Personally, I'm not a hot dog person. But I do enjoy a good corn dog with some mustard. But I think I found my new way to enjoy a corn dog. This is really good. Would it be better if it were sausage in this? Yeah. Could you imagine if it were brat?
Oh.
But either way, this is very good.
Okay, for this blueberry corn dog, bears mentioning they took it off of mobile order. It is, as far as mobile order goes, only scheduled for breakfast times. But the cast member told us that their manager instructed them to sell it all day, which is good and may not last. If they wanted to, they could make it just breakfast. But don't be discouraged by not seeing it on the mobile order all day, because you just went up and asked and yeah, they had it. The Ghost of Anaheim burger has a Angus beef and vegetable patty, ghost pepper salsa verde sauce, pepper jack cheese, green chili pico de gallo, cilantro lime cabbage slaw, and crispy onions on a toasted brioche bun. Okay, this is gonna be really messy. The Ghost of Anaheim burger has a lot of chopped ingredients, chopped pretty finely, and like it's gonna make a mess. Like, I know. I've been warned. It's spicy. Before I dig into it, I need to mention this patty mix that they've been using of, you know, a blend of beef and like veggie components, mainly mushroom, I suppose, is not super appetizing to look at. It comes out kind of gray, but flavor-wise, it has been pretty tasty. So I'm generally in favor of it. Let's give it a shot. It's really good. It's not as spicy as I was warned, but that might have just been the bite that I had. These Anaheim chilies, you know, in the grand scheme of things, spice-wise, it's not like the most spicy. The pico de gallo that's on here is very nice and tangy. The red cabbage slaw on top is crunchy, which is nice. The fried peppers that are on here are also added crunch, which is nice. Overall, I think it's a really good burger. It's not like the most Halloween-y or Halloween feeling thing. It doesn't have to be though. I think that good food is good food, and as long as they're serving stuff that provides a variety of flavors and not just a one note, I think that's good. I think that's good for the park. I'm really glad that they're not backing down from spice. I think in the past they would have, but you know, we are living in a modern spicy era, and I think it's good. There's also an aioli on here of some sort. I don't really know what it is. So there's a lot of flavors on here. It's meaty, it's citrusy and sour, it's spicy, there's some richness, and a variety of textures. Soft, crunchy, crispy. That's pretty great. Okay, so update. As Jen was filming that first part, you could see the burger dripping a bunch. The pico de gallo was very juicy, and so, you know, I set it down for a little bit, and the bottom bun soaked through. So I took it off. Like, there's no reason to have that soggy bread on there.
Unless you're into soggy bread.
True. You can also see that aioli is on that bottom side. That's an interesting choice. But because the top is like glossy, it's a little sturdier. So it's holding up as I'm holding it upside down, open face like this. So that's definitely a flaw of this burger. If the bun was toasted, it would probably hold up better. But it's not. So there you go. The Mickey-shaped pumpkin salted dulce cream puff is filled with pumpkin mousse and salted dulce de leche. Alright, we have the cream puff. Everything I've seen on social media says this is going to be delicious. But this might be the best sweet that has been introduced for Halloween. Smells good. I get why. That pastry cream is still so light, but is both dulce de leche and pumpkin, which is so good. Because it's like a pumpkin pie caramel cream puff, and it's not too heavy. It is sweet, like it's really sweet. You gotta be prepared for that. But with that combination of flavors, like, duh, it's gonna be sweet. You know what you're in for, and it tastes good. It's rich, it's creamy, still manages to be light, I think. A little caramely. Like, that's just so good. What a delicious dessert. The iced Mexican hot chocolate is kind of like a frozen champurrado with whipped cream and chocolate shavings on it.
I don't know if anybody else knows this, but I have a confession. I really like chocolate. This is almost too thick to drink through the straw, but it's so good. Oh, it's so good. It's nice and chocolatey, almost like when you let your chocolate ice cream melt type of thickness to it. Yeah, it's good.
That's frozen Abuelita. Jen's not from Southern California. She's not familiar, but I am. And that is so good. It's almost like milkshake consistency. If you turned Abuelita into a milkshake, that's it. That's so good. Like, usually that's something you have hot and it's thick and it kind of coats your throat, which I realize sounds dirty, but like as a milkshake pretty much, that's so good. That's so refreshing. It is harder to drink than like a thin chocolate drink, but with something like Abuelita, it has to be thick. The thickness is part of it. It is thicker than your average hot chocolate, and so this is thicker than your average cold chocolate drink, which doesn't really exist, I suppose.
I mean, chocolate milk.
Right. But it's got those flavors, it's got that little hint of cinnamon, like it's been slow cooking with a cinnamon stick in there. Like, that's delicious. Alright, well that's it for us. We are all done with this second day of the Halloween season. I think there's a lot more fun to be had, more treats to be had.
For sure.
And we're here for it. Alright, we'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you want to come back for some more Everyday Magic, hit that subscribe button. See you next time.
Okay, bye.